Hello, hello, hello. Welcome everybody to the Coach's Corner with myself, Coach Hadassah, and Coach Cotton. She will be with us shortly. But we thank you for tuning in on today's Coach's Corner, where we help you get to your next level. And so this week, we have been talking about staying the course, never giving up. Do not give up. I know it's been a long journey, right? When you start, whatever it is that you intend to do, there's this saying that we have: distractions follow intentions, right? Distractions follow great intentions. When you decide that whatever it is, your hopes, your dreams, your aspirations, and when you finally commit to that thing, everything in the world happens. Okay. The kitchen sink is thrown at you. Just everything, anything imaginable, think of, it starts to happen. And it almost makes you think like, is this the way? Is this the path? Am I supposed to be doing this? you know, and you'll think that you're probably not on the right path or following the purpose because so many things starts to happen. But most likely, if those things are happening, do know that you really are on the right path. Because see, think about if you've, like, say you started to work out, right? You're like, okay, look, my body, I'm not healthy. It's not just about the appearance of the body, although that could be an indicator. Okay, but you can be having some internal issues. Heart, your blood pressure, your whatever that is. You can, say you're walking up the stairs and then you're feeling short of breath or whatever, and you're like, whew, I'm out of shape. I want to get my health together. I want to get my health going. So you just decide, hey, I'm going to make that commitment. I want my body to look like this because it is looking like this now or whatever. And so you start to do that. You start on that, that fitness track or whatever. Now, here's the thing about it. You'll begin to see some results as you continue to go on. You can see results just within a little of, maybe 2 weeks or so if you're consistent in those first 2 weeks. But you will see some type of results. You'll feel it first before you, begin to see it. Thing about it, what you do feel at the beginning is pain. That's what you feel at the beginning, pain. You feel soreness and you're like, oh my gosh, right? This hurts, that hurts. Okay. But when you start to feel that pain or that sore, do you keep going part of the course? So it's the same thing when it comes to, deciding on a goal, having a goal, and then taking the following steps to reach that goal. And that process, things starts to happen. Things start to, fall apart, fall away, or, whatever. But the same thing happens with the body. When you're starting to work out, you feel that pain. And I kind of like this saying that I've heard, like say when you're starting to work out, it said pain is weakness leaving the body, which is true. It's true. Your muscles, because they haven't been worked in that way, they start to break down in order to, repair and renew and become stronger. So again, that's the same thing that's happening with our, and as we go towards our dreams, goals, aspirations, our mindset starts to change. Certain things start falling away. The way that we've may have seen things before, that starts to change. All of those things. So that's why we're on this topic of, don't give up, keep going. because you want to get to that end result. However, it's a process, right? So I see Coach Cotton is here. So we're going to go ahead and add Coach Cotton to the stream. Hello, 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 Coach Cotton, you here?
I am finally here.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. Wait a minute. Hold on, you sound a little low, but it's on my end. So
do I?
See. No, it's not you. It's me. I got to turn my volume up. I didn't know it was low like that.
Gotcha.
Okay. So I was just, giving our viewers a little appetizer before you came on.
That sounds wonderful. And I'm so sorry, you guys. Look, I was ready and then I was not ready.
Right. Look, it happens because you already know from my phone, right? I'm like, and that's what I said. I said, you know what? I called you. And then I said, it's something that's going on. So I'm going to just go ahead and get started.
Yeah.
Right. She'll hop on. I said, I already know some technical difficulties. Look, Barack drinking water.
Something. And like when you was calling me, as soon as I answered the phone, it hung up. And I was like, let me just stay focused because I'm too distracted. Let me just try to get on the show. And so I'm like, that's what I did.
Yes.
So yes.
No problem. Look, you know, I got your back. You got my back. We got each other's back.
I'm so appreciative. I'm so grateful. And then look up here trying to I finally got the Facebook thing started working right today. I don't know what glitch it was. I think Facebook probably was doing some upgrades or something, but now it's back working. I'm super excited about that.
Okay. And most likely because you know what, now first of all, y'all already know. You look, Mark. Mark Zuckerberg from IG to Snapchat
he gonna get his money, right?
He is gonna make it happen in Facebook because that's where he want everybody to stay. Mm-hmm. And so you know that a version of Clubhouse is coming to Facebook.
Really? No, I did not know that.
Yes.
Wow.
I noticed yesterday in my news feed, I was looking, I was like, what is this thing? And it said something like some beta test, yada, yada, yada. And you click on it. I clicked on it and I was like, oh. I see.
Wow.
Yeah. So
no, I didn't.
Yeah. So there's going to be I don't know what they're going to call it, but it's like a Clubhouse that's going to be right here in Facebook. Wow. Yes. And you probably saw it, but just didn't pay too much attention to it.
I probably did and didn't even think twice about it. No, I mean, like
it was right there. Yesterday it was right there. I clicked on it. I said, oh, and then I happened to see one of my Facebook friends. She posted about it yesterday, and I was like, yep. I'm like, this is a confirmation. I saw that. So I mean, really, I knew it was just a matter of time because that's not. I mean, you got to know Mark.
Right. You gonna know he gonna keep his main platform solid.
Right. He's gonna keep this platform solid, and if it's something that's coming out that's going to kind of compete, and that's what it's all about. It's a business. In business, you have to keep up with your competitors. And so absolutely. I remember when Instagram came out, and because Facebook was kind of going towards pictures just a little bit, but when Instagram came out, and I hopped on it and everything, and I thought to myself, I said, whoa, Facebook is about to be MySpace. Mark was like, no, the hell it ain't.
He's like, do not compare.
It was like
what I built here.
Right, what the hell it ain't. And he went on and bought it. He was like, let me go ahead and drop this cool million on Instagram. I was like, hey, you a smart man, because everybody was about to migrate, just like they did with MySpace. But hey, I mean, you can, hey, it is what it is. So the time is now 6:12. And we do have, hey Tay, we got Tay here that has joined us. So we're going to go ahead and I already see Coach Cotton. She's tagging a friend and telling a friend.
You know that about you see my head down. I'm looking up like, yes.
Yes, right. Coach Cotton, tag a friend, tell a friend. That is Coach Cotton saying. I love it.
Hello, right. we got to do it. Y'all got to help us now. Come on, tag. Y'all get the tagging.
Right. So go ahead, tag people, share this, on your page, across your social medias, because we want to make sure that, that people are getting the things that we're sharing here. You could call them nuggets, you could call them jewels, whatever it is that you want to call it. But again, our goal is to help you get to your next level.
Absolutely.
So we're going to go ahead and get started with our video that Coach Cotton graced us with today. And I not get a chance to see it, so it would be my first time watching it too.
Oh, you're gonna like this. You're gonna like it.
Yes, I will say that, because you know me. I mean, I be running around in the morning, and I probably just came in the house about 15 minutes before it started.
I know, because we didn't even really talk today. And then when I start calling, I'm like, Coach probably is out in Illinois streets, out there in Chicago.
Man, these boys got me out here in these streets. We're leaving to go out of town tomorrow for the race.
Yeah. I remember
you
saying that. And so I kind of figured out like she probably out there trying to prepare herself. And then we 3 weeks away from Baltimore. Yeah. And so it's like things is rolling. Things is rolling right now.
And that's the thing. When I thought about it, and then we're gonna really get into this video. Because for Baltimore, it'll be myself, my husband, and Ryan. So 3 of us are coming. So, I'm like, okay, the 3 plane tickets and then the hotel. I said, shoot, we might as well get the truck serviced.
And drive on out there. And drive,
right? Yeah. I mean, if it was just me, or if it was me and Ryan, then I would have copped those tickets and we were out. But all 3 of us, and plane tickets, I said, shoot, I will take this money and go ahead and put it into my truck.
Yeah, that's smart though. That's smart.
Yeah, get the tune up. So we got the brakes fixed this morning, because I heard a little. I was like, oh, babe, the brakes. I don't know if it's the front, the back, but so we went and did that this morning, and that was great. But then the rest of the stuff, we're gonna go ahead and get. Like I said, get the tune up, all of that good stuff, and we're gonna go ahead and drive to Baltimore. It's 2 drivers, so taking that trip, us going down south. So,
well, that's smart.
Yeah. So, so let's go ahead and get into this video. All righty, and
y'all see me tagging and telling.
Yeah. While Coach Cotton is tagging and telling, I'll go ahead and bring it up. And oh my God, I love this. I love this lion with the headphones on. Look,
and the eyes matching them headphones. I
love it. Look, that looked like me walking in the morning on my morning walk. Yes, just make sure one is open. All right, so we're about to go ahead and get into this video. If you want to succeed, you must out the distractions.
Yes.
Right. All right. So let's get it.
In today's world of overstimulation, seemingly unlimited distractions and short attention spans, it's no wonder there are so many people who don't succeed. It's no wonder so many people never achieve anything significant. It's no wonder so many people never reach their true potential. If you want to achieve anything great, you must shut out all distractions. Successful people are focused people. Successful people could go into a space where they shut out everything, where they lock in on the task in front of them, lock in on their goal, lock in on their dream. If it is important enough to you, you will shut out all distractions. Shut the door, turn your phone off, turn off social media, lock in, focus, and get the job done. A recent study pointed out that the average adult spends around 1 hour and 40 minutes every day on social media. That is nearly 12 hours per week, over 50 hours per month, 616 hours per year. It adds up to 128 days over a period of 5 years. 128 days wasted every 5 years. Imagine if you use that time better. Just imagine if you replace that wasted time with completely focused time, working on something you love. The person you will be in 5 years' time will be very different depending on which path you choose to take. Those who don't succeed, let's call them, I don't know, the majority. They're like a puppy with a bone. Anytime a bone comes along, social media likes or comments, a text message, a TV show, an opportunity at another night out, any attention or meaningless distraction, they drop everything important to them and chase the bone. They could be sitting on $1 million idea, something that could change their life completely, but as soon as that bone comes along, they follow it, day in and day out. Meaningless distractions tearing people away from a life they deserve. Meanwhile, they are left feeling empty inside because they haven't fed their soul with the pride that comes from self-growth. Growth from shutting out the world and going all in on their dream. Growth from finding a way when there seems to be no way. Growth that go beyond the life you thought you were capable of. Every time you do something over your goal, you form a bad habit. A habit that gets strong and eventually overpowers your goal. It defeats your dream. Form a different habit. A habit of discipline. Discipline from shutting out what most won't, so you have the things most don't. A habit of going all in. A habit of integrity. When you say your goal matters to you, show that it. Make it a priority. Achieve great things. Shut out the distractions of this world and make your goal a priority. Steve Jobs once said, people think focus means saying yes to the thing you've got. But that's not what it means at all. It means saying no to the 100 other good ideas that there are. You have to pick carefully. To be able to shut out everything but the most important thing that you must right now. Get it done with 100% of your presence and attention. Give it everything you have, your heart and your soul. The best will lead to your next best result. Zig Ziglar said, lack of direction, not lack of time, is the problem. We all have 24-hour days. Now that's the truth if I've ever heard it. We all have 24 hours in a day. How you spend that time will determine where you end up in life. How you spend 24 hours will determine if you live with pride or how you spend your 24 hours will determine if you survive or thrive. Now it's time to lock out the things you don't need. Lock in on the life you must have. Prepare yourself for now so you can enjoy later.
That was awesome.
It was pretty dope. It was a pretty dope video, I must say. Motivational. When I heard him speaking, I was like, let me pay attention to what he's saying because he might be talking to me.
Right.
You know, when it comes down to those distractions, coach, and it's so easy. Like, you can be distracted with not having the attention to be distracted. Like, and when I heard him speaking and just giving the motivational talk, I was like, man, that's so easy to happen because, you know, like I go on social media to like do our posts, like I'll post for the Coach's Corner, I'll post for Extreme, I'll post for my coaching practice. And then once I'm doing that, I find myself scrolling, liking. I'm like, what am I doing? I got caught up just that quick. And something as simple as you really set out to do a task or you had an agenda to do something, then here come the distractions because now, even if you completed that task, you're doing something else when you could be using your time for business or your time for something that you got to stay focused on. I love how he said that. He's like, we got to learn how to stay present and give it 100% attention. I'm like, I'm guilty. I know sometimes I'll be in and out. Like I'll be in and out and I have to do better.
Right. And the thing is, I wanted to point out something when he talked about social media, right? Where I wanted to give a highlight to Rodney Stewart's comment. He said that was powerful. Yes, very powerful. Because I mean, the littlest things can distract us. And like Coach Cotton said, you know, I'm definitely guilty of it. I call myself Dory. Okay. Y'all remember Dory from
Finding Nemo?
Finding Nemo. Oh my gosh. Dory could be like, go there, like, oh look.
Distracted. She lost. She lost.
She gone. Right? Look, she came through in the end, though. But boy, oh look, so. I mean, that me, okay?
Yes.
So I have to I have to do things to like set. I set alarms. Like I understand that my memory was great younger.
Right.
But when you get older and you have a lot more on your plate, and I'm managing a household, and although I do not want to manage people, but
you have to sometimes.
I have to manage people. I have to manage the people in my house.
Yes.
So, look, and I have to manage them for them to manage themselves. That's pretty much what it is. It's like manage yourself.
Yes. Absolutely.
Manage yourself. Right? I always say, you know, if you don't manage yourself, somebody is going to manage you one day and you're not going to like it.
Right. Absolutely.
You will not like it. If you do not control yourself and you don't manage yourself, someone will have to do it for you and you are not going to like it. So please learn it now, right? Like before you move out my house. Okay.
Right.
So then you won't have any problems.
Right.
So anyway, the thing about the social media though, social media is a great tool. It's really a great tool. I learned to use social media to network and do business. Like when social media really first came out, you know, my first social media platform, and I think it was for most people, was MySpace, right?
Yeah.
And it came at a time where, you know, I was back at home because I managed salons, things like that. But I was married and started having my second set of children. So I found myself at home when the, you know, Holy Spirit was like, I have something for you to do. You can't do it back in this chair. And I'm like, you know, so I found myself at home. And like, yeah, after you, you know, I'm dealing with the kids and you know, all that kind of stuff. And they would have a schedule and okay, it's nap time and clean up and all of that. Okay, now what do I do with myself? I've made money and my income was sliced in half. And so I'm like, I have to do something, right? So there was social, my cousin introduced me to MySpace and I found it as a way to network.
Right.
So I was like, oh, I could use this like as my legs because I'm in the house, right? So you know, met wonderful people, was able to you know, collaborate on some things and it was great. I started finding it as a way to you know, on one hand where you just have to go out there and you know, out there locally to network and do things and make things happen. To me, I found social media to be a way to do that while you're at home. And in that way, it was more efficient and effective. When I left the house, I had an aim, right? You know, I had a place to where I don't have to just go out there. It was already set up. So that's how I began to use social media in the beginning. before, and I won't say before people started using it for business, because people were using it for business. That's how I was connecting with people. And it was
right.
whether it was a project or whatever, we were using it for business. Then of course came, Facebook. And then I got on Facebook from my dad. My dad told me, hey, you have a social media. No, not social media. Do you have a Facebook? He's like, yeah, baby. Yeah, baby, you got the Facebook?
You got the Facebook.
You got the Facebook? That's from down south, okay? So my dad from Mississippi. So, baby, you got the Facebook? I said, no, I don't have it. He said, well, I want you to get a Facebook account so that way we could keep, the family could keep up with each other and stuff. Mm-hmm. We don't have to try to write letters and through the mail and all of that. And I was like, okay. And I created an account and I had it and I wasn't even using it.
Mm-hmm.
And so it wasn't until I had got into a home-based business opportunity, a network marketing opportunity, and they did a Facebook training and how to connect with people using Facebook.
Right.
And wow. That's when I really started to use it. So I've always used social media for business purposes,
mm-hmm.
but not in a way where it's like, hey, get in my business, join my business. Social media is a way to connect with people, socialize. But when you socialize, what do you end up doing? You end up sharing what it is that you do.
Right.
That's pretty much it. It's not like, hey, join, but you share what it is that you do. Okay. So, because if you're at a social event, like I was just at an event, what was that? Just this past Friday, Saturday, Sunday, something like that. And you're talking to people, you're socializing, and you might spark a conversation with at least a couple of people while you're there. And what is the question that's going to come up? Well, what do you do?
What do you do?
What do you do? I do this. What do you do? I do this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Make a connection or whatever. And hey, you may need their product or service, or maybe not. But you may know somebody that needs that product or service, and you made the connection with the person. And, because people trust you and you have a relationship, you can share that with other people. So that's all social media is, right? And so when using social media wisely, use social media strategically, and not allow social media to use you, then it's not a bad thing, right?
Right.
And of course, I have a degree certification in media communications. So if I'm working with other people's social, like managing other people's social media accounts, business social media accounts, I'm on social media, right? It's business though. So here's the thing. This is the thing about utilizing social media to your advantage and not to your disadvantage. Look, do I get distracted? Yes, I do. While I'm on social media conducting business.
Got it.
Like I'm managing social media accounts as well as my own. However, I'm like, yeah, you'll get caught up in scrolling and reading some posts and you start laughing or whatever. But here's the thing about it. There's something that's built in your phone. Well, I don't know. I'm an iPhone user. So I'm not sure if the, other phones or whatever, like seriously do that. But I know with iPhone, they got the thing where you can, you can set it to where it's like, okay, I'm only on social media for an hour or 30 minutes or, whatever. So it's like, basically you get in, do what you need to do and get out before that thing goes off, because it's going to cut off on you. But you have to be the one to set it.
Right.
And then it'll let you know like how much time you spent on social media for the day, for the week or whatever. So that comes down to, again, like self-management, self-control, if you'll set those things up for yourself, but I mean, myself personally, I'm pretty good with that management of social media. and my social media, you know, intake and everything, because I'm on it, I'm on it for business anyway. You know,
right.
Other than that, I mean, even with the things that what I share, if I'm sharing something about, you know, health and wellness, well, that's what I do. Right?
Gotcha.
If I'm sharing something about, you know, relationships or whatever, well, that's a part of health and wellness.
Right.
If I'm sharing something about, you know, our Forex education platform and the youth entrepreneurship and development, that's part of my business.
Right.
Right? And so if you're on social media for, you know, a length of time, then are you strategic? Like, what are you strategic it for?
What are you doing? Right. How are you using the platform?
So it's how you're using it as opposed as to, because here's the thing about it. Like, we'll hear that most people spend such this time on social media, but where are you hearing that from? On social media.
Right. You're right.
Are we not on
and that's so strange that's exactly where you hear it from. It's like you talking about the thing that's you talking about the problem that's also the solver to the problem.
That's on the solver to the problem. And so the solution to if I'm gonna be on social media for hours on a day, well, how do you use it to your benefit?
Right.
That's really what it is. How do you use it to your benefit? You know, so if you're not, I mean, because you could be whatever, you know, you could be a nurse, you could be a stay-at-home mom, whatever it is that you are doing, how can you use it to your benefit to where you're sharing with other people what it is that you do.
Right.
Right. Whether you whether you are an employee, self-employed, business owner, investor, philanthropist, whatever,
right,
you're sharing, utilizing social media, because it's only so far you can go locally.
True. Very true.
Right. But with social media, what this is, it's on the internet. It's the World Wide Web.
Right.
The people I have done business with don't even live locally or in the same state as me. Like, seriously. Like, even on our platform with Extreme FX, most of the people who have teamed and partnered with me don't even live in my same state. Well, how did they hear about it? I was on social media talking about it. Right? So again, it's about how you use social media, or just all around, how you do what it is that you do, how you use what it is that you have, and are you using it for your benefit? So I did want to speak to that. I mean, I agree with him. I'm not disagreeing. I agree with him. But again, I want to just share, you know, how you can use this, because here's the thing. People are not going to get off social media.
No, they're not. Right. It's here to stay. It's not going anywhere. And the only thing it's going to do is improve and become more advanced. And you're absolutely right. And I think the big part about it is that when you're on social media, what are you looking for? Like, are you conducting business? Are you trying to advertise, you know, what you're doing? Or are you on there for that validation? You know what I'm saying? Because I hear that a lot too. Like, are you on social media? Are you venting about your personal life? Or are you really trying to conduct business? Are you really trying to do something that's going to either create you some extra income, you know, add value to your life or someone else's life? Or like, what's the motive of you being on there? Now, yes, it is social, and it is something that we can keep in touch with family and friends that we can't, you know, like see on a regular basis, right? But you get on there, and then when the distraction comes, now you are looking for those likes and those comments. And I have a good friend of mine. He hates social media. And the funny thing about it is he works for Google. And so in his job, right, it's all social media. He works for Google, like one of the biggest platforms, social platforms in the entire world. Matter of fact, I will go far as to say Google is the biggest social platform in the world right now. Google is everything, right? And so I told him, I said, well, this is the thing. don't, if you know, he had to get an account. He avoided Facebook and Instagram and all these things for years, and then finally, you know, he's like, I gotta create something, but I'm just gonna, you know, not have a huge carbon footprint on social media. And I'm like, that's great. I said, but what you do is go on there, do your job, do your work, and then get off. You ain't gotta ever like nobody comment. You ain't gotta ever look at nobody's story. You ain't gotta look at no news feed or nothing like that. And I told myself, you can set privacy settings. So for those who just are against social media, because some people will abuse it, but that's with anything. Some people will abuse social media like they'll abuse, you know, coming late to their regular 9-to-5 job or something like that. So we got to be just more conscious of personally, what are you doing on there? Like you said, how are you using social media? What is the reason for the platform? Are you there just to be nosy Nancy, or are you there to really, you know, help people? Are you there to really keep in touch with family and friends that you can't see? And if you're not looking for that validation that can brainwash a lot of people, because social media, the negative side to it is that for those who are not trying to use it for what it is, a social networking, then you have so many people who become depressed, and so many people who are distracted, and so many people who get into these state of minds because they see something right on social media that's not necessarily a reality for people. You may see people on vacation and coming back home getting evicted, right? So you just got to be the smarter person to know that you can't believe all the hype that's on social media. Pull yourself away from that, right? Like, don't let that take you out of what you're supposed to be doing. And don't let it impact your lifestyle, because social media could create a false sense of reality, right? Like, you see, life is great on social media. There are very few people who are using Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and all these platforms, Twitter, and really living the life that they're displaying to people. It's very few people. And most of those people, even if you talk about celebrity, they got this glamorous life and committing suicide. You know what I'm saying? So we got to be the ones who's mature enough to, we may see it, but we ain't got to get pulled into all of the display of what's going on in people's lives via social media. You be the grown adult. You filter out what you can take, and it does not have to validate you. It does not separate you. It does not make anyone feel better or less than you. People can do what they want to do on social media, but it's up to you, you know, to be mature, to handle it. And it's up to you to get on there and do what you need to do, right? And that's what I loved about that video, because he was really just talking about any type of distractions. Where's your attention? What are you focused on? You know what I'm saying? And so we got to remember that no matter what it is, whether it's, if we say, you know, we got to go do XYZ, then let's execute XYZ before we go out here going to kick it with the friends and the homeboys and the homegirls, and you have not completed what you set out to do first. Like, let the main thing be the main thing, and let's focus on what we need to be doing. You know what I'm saying? I think it's just about being, you know, an adult in some cases, you know, and it's just you really having that attention, having that focus, and being present to do what you need to do. And y'all know I go on my soapbox, coach. You know, I get on it, and y'all better stay motivated.
Yes. And here's the thing, and there's like some, you know, some helpful tips, of course.
Right.
Because we can definitely say, you know, like, hey, keep going. Don't get distracted. Mm-hmm. You know, all of that kind of stuff. And don't get me wrong, like, motivation is good. It's great.
Right.
And especially when I mean, you know, when you are unmotivated, and which
right.
motivation is definitely from something outside of you. Mm-hmm. It's something outside of you. The root word of it, right? Motive. Right? Motive. Like, what's your motive? They even talk about that in court. You know, you killed somebody. But what was the motive? You know, what was the motive? What was the motive?
I almost choked on the drink when you said,
like, for real. I mean, that's what they say. You know,
that's exactly what they say.
For doing that, okay, mm-hmm. That's what they want to find out. What is the motive? So it was something outside. You know, where inspiration, because we're talking about you know, even looking at the word before we get into inspiration, looking at the word motive, you know, motive, and you think of movement, you know,
right, motion,
yeah. Motive, something moved you to do. Something moved or spurred you into action, and that was something that happened on the outside for that you know, motive. So, you know, like say if you're feeling down or depressed or something like that, usually it may be some friends or something that's like going to give you the motivation in order for you to get up and get moving and doing some things so that you don't go into this depressive kind of funk.
Right. True.
You know?
True.
And that's a good thing. That's a good thing. However, that is just for, that can't be all the time, all day, every day type of thing. You know, you have to be self-motivated. And what is that thing that will drive you? We always talk about that. You know, like, what's your why? What is that thing? What is your why? And really that why, that kind of get that goes into the inspiration. What is that thing within? Inspire. Inspire.
Right.
And inspire is spirit.
Right. Absolutely.
Spirit, right. So what inspires you, or what's your why, so that you are motivated to get up and do what needs to be done, but not only just to get up and do what needs to be done, but do it all the time. Do it consistently.
100%.
Right? Even when the distractions come. Okay? Because don't get me wrong, like Coach Cotton said, and I said, we get distracted. I get distracted. However, something will snap, you know, like
bring you out of it.
Right. I was doing this, you know, all the time.
I did it today. I'm like, oh my God, look at the devil. Jumped on me real quick.
Well, okay, let me get back to doing, because you have to complete it. You have to complete, you know, the task every single day, because you know that you have a goal. So here's some tips, right? Before we, you know, before we start wrapping up, to, you know, continue to not be distracted.
Right.
Okay? Or because again, the distractions come, but to either not be distracted, or if you are distracted, to get back on track.
Right. Absolutely.
One of those things is try your best to cut down, cut down on the distractions. The first, well, I would say this, the first thing to do is make sure that whatever your why is, whatever that inspires you, make sure that is written. It's written. We love to use vision boards. That's what a vision board is really for.
Reminder.
The vision board is to have that vision, you know, like in the scriptures, it say, write the vision, make it plain upon tables, so that he who reads it may run with it. Well, who is that he or she? Please let that be you.
You need to be the first one.
Right? You need to be the first one that reads it. And read it every single day. And so it's like, have that vision, the pictures, the images, because here's the thing about the psyche. The psyche, we see with our mind. That's why the scripture says, be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. We have these two, you know, eyes or whatever, but we see one like panoramic vision. And the reason why we see in one panoramic vision and not like two different things, because we have two eyeballs, because these are really reflectors or windows, but we see with our mind. So the images, our mind picks up images. That's why you see things with colors and logos and all of that kind of stuff, because those things are communicating with our psyche and sending out a message, whether we know it or not, whether we're conscious of it or not. So if these companies are making logos and stuff like that for that imagery in order to bring you in, for you to purchase what they have to sell, why don't you create your own vision with your own vision board to sell yourself on your own vision? Right.
That's so smart.
Sell yourself on it every single day. So have your vision, right? That vision board, put it up there. Make sure it's is visible, that you can see it every single day, and have yourself a mirror. I mean, we have a mirror in our bathroom and, you know, stuff like that, but a mirror that you see every day, that you will look at yourself and say to yourself, hey, today is the day. We got to make it happen. Right?
Wow. And I love that. I love that.
And then have your, you know, your goal. I love what Dr. Linda, what Coach Linda, I'm going to say Coach Linda, because you know how I do. You know how I do.
Please don't. Dr. Linda Rogers Brown.
Yes, yes. I'm gonna say Coach Linda, because you know I'm be like Coach Linda Rogers Joe.
That's a messed up. Combine the Linda Joe White, who we love, with Dr. Linda Rogers Brown, who we love. It's the Lindas and the names, got the colors in them. And it's just,
we have
and then they got 3 names.
Linda Rogers. And it's the white and the brown, and man, I just all messed up all the time. So I say Coach Linda, she gave us that you know, that information when we were able to get those you know, those 90-day planners. I love that planner.
Those action planners are the bomb, right? Yeah. And so you know, but if you don't have the action planner, okay, fine. But get you a planner. You could get them at Dollar Tree. You could just get you a planner and write the goals down. Write those goals down, and you know, and give yourself a time frame. And I don't want to say a deadline, but a lifeline. Give yourself that lifeline and that time frame, so that every single day you have, okay, this is the goal, but you have tasks. Those tasks are like stair steps. Look, you see those stairs, right? Those steps with the coach's corner, that's there for a reason, right? Helping you get to your next level, step by step, by step, by step, by step. Write those things down, because each day with the task, that means that, okay, I've accomplished that task. So then the next day it gets easier, but that takes you to a next step, and the next step, and the next step, and the next step. Right. Okay, thank you. And so so you know, those are some things that can help us. And then this is another another tidbit, and Adrian Dynamite Sloan gave us this. He said, hey, 10 before 10. Yeah. What does that mean? The night before, but like before you go to bed, write down 10 things. That would be the task. Okay. And I'm like 8 before 8. 10 before 10, right? You know, Coach Adrian Dynamite Sloan said 10 before 10. Right. I was like, hey, then there's an 8 before 8. But give yourself a number, right? Right. Those things that you write down, that would be your task for the next day. And then have a time that you have to have those things accomplished. Right. And then you go on about your day. And every day that you do that, more and more accomplished. Okay. And you feel good about, hey, that brings me one more day closer to my goal. One more day closer to my goal. One more day. And then next thing you know, you look up, what, 90 days? 90 days is a season. It is a whole season.
Do you know how much is done in a season?
Yes.
A lot.
Yes.
Right? Spring. A lot gets done in the spring. And then next thing you know, boom, we have summer. A lot gets done in the summer. Then boom. Next thing you know, we have autumn. A lot gets done there. Then boom. Next thing you know, we have fall. I mean, not fall, but winter. And the winter is really rest season. But hey, the way the world set things up,
they want to rest in the summertime and then try to work in the wintertime. And I'm like, ain't that backwards?
And that is reverse psychology all day. But
y'all, you see Barack over here trying to get it started. Right. I took him out before this live started. I promise y'all. I waited to like 6:45. And do you not know he over here looking at me like he got to go out? And I'm like, you will not. You will wait 10 minutes.
Right. But you know that's how he gets down. Right. So those are the things that, you know, some tips that can help you along the way. And then also knowing, this is the biggest thing, knowing that distractions will come. And when I'm not talking about like, it's some little things, but when we are also talking about big things, the children, the significant others and spouses, family members, I mean, just all kinds of things.
Right.
So do know you have to pay attention to that and make sure that you get those things in order so that you can focus on the goal at hand. Right. And make sure that you can move forward. And when I say things will happen, just little things. I mean, I've even seen, look, people get sick, people pass away, you know, all of that kind of stuff. And I know when you're dealing with things like that, you know, those things happen and you have to take that time to you know, to mourn, to grieve, you know, all of that. But do know that just as sure as things are die, things are born too.
Right.
We have,
wow.
And
yes.
And I don't mean to say this in a way that's like, what is it? Listen, you know, I don't mean to be offensive thing at all when I say this, but listen, people die every day. People die every single day. People are born every single day. If you are still living, right, life goes on. You do have to take your time to go ahead and, you know, take care of business, mourn, grieve. You have to do that. But you also have to keep on living because you're still here, right? Absolutely. You're still here. And, you know, that's one of those things we have to say. I think people say that all the time, you know, that, hey, this is, you know, my, whoever that loved one is that passed away would want me to keep going. They would want me to know that. Right. So, any closing remarks that you have to say before we, you know, get into the Youth Entrepreneurship and Development Program and close out?
No, I think it's a great show, and we just got to remember that distractions will follow intention. So anytime you set your mind out to do something intentionally, look for the distractions. Just expect it so you can step ahead of it. That's it. But no, you summed it up greatly. And every time, like, look, lately, every time you talk about the young guns, the young generation of New Zealand, my mind go to Morning Motivation Coach. And this is a sidebar, but I was so annoyed. Right? It was just, we'll not talk about it on this live, but I was every now because I think about it. I think about the Young Guns program and how much I love it. And then just sometimes people would come and try to diminish the integrity of something or the meaning behind something. And it bothered me. Yeah. It bothered me. And I didn't say anything because I didn't feel like it was my lane to. And now I'm going, every time I get a little frustrated. But I'm just going to have to work through that, right? Because it just bothered me. But anyway, I had to say a little prayer that day. I was like, okay, Michelle, just. Yeah. I know what you mean. I know. Because it's such a phenomenal program. And I just don't be the person that reads too much into things. You know what I'm saying? It's just don't be that male or female, right? Yes. And I'm done. That's a little bit too much. It was a little bit too much. And I mean, usually I'm that person that just jump in there, right? Healthy confrontation, right? I was trying to find the button, like, hold on. You know what I'm saying? Let me because I feel like, you know, I mean, it's not my baby, but at the same time, I'm definitely I'm invested. You know what I'm saying? I'm invested too. Right. And I don't need nothing to be tainted. You know what I'm saying?
I'm very invested. And it's like I was really about to go there in defense. And you know, Spirit was just like, you don't have to do that. And then there was a reason for that, but I'll let you know what that is later.
Okay, good. Because I definitely I was over there like rocking like my grandma in a chair. Because I was just like,
yeah. It was
and sometimes that I have to really hold my mule, because I know that when I get to that point, it ain't gonna be right sometimes. Like, it's not the approach and the tone is not gonna come off as professional as I would like it to. And I just had to shut up. Like, literally, I had to I was talking to my inner self saying, don't you hit that button. And I dare you to unmute. I dare you to unmute that button, because when you hit unmute, it's over, right?
And that was a healthy thing.
Michael.
It was.
Do you hear that?
We have the Youth Entrepreneurship and Development Program. Tonight is study hall. So we have study hall with our youth, and then also our parent breakout room. So, you know, if you're a parent with your children, we invite you to come on over to learn about our Youth Entrepreneurship and Development Program with Extreme FX Global Academy, where Bitcoin and Forex collides. Because listen, number one, it's a great program. I'm not saying this only because, you know, and yeah, I'm bragging. I'm gonna go ahead and do it, right? Because, you know, I have 3 sons that's in the program, but out of the 3, I always, you know, he has just been always that homeschool student that he delves into things. He just delves in. And so he applies himself without anybody having to be over him to do that. Wow. And because of that, he's on the AP honor roll here in Extreme FX Global Academy, because I've definitely they made my homeschool curriculum much easier because I was teaching financial literacy, right? And I was like, oh my gosh, thank you.
He said he was saying help, and he did.
Right. I'm like, log in. So it was just wonderful. And you know, he's over here doing great things. Look, even teaching me, I could say, and just a great program overall. So come on over, bring yourself, bring your child or your children, your nieces, nephews,
right? Everybody, all y'all,
whoever, all y'all, and come over. So it's again Extreme FX Young Guns. And guns is a positive spin with the acronym meaning Generation Under New Zeal. Guns don't kill people. People kill people.
Thank God. Yes.
Right?
That's exactly. Guns has never been the enemy.
You know, I mean, there's an amendment that we have the right to bear arms in order to protect our homes, our families, right? And you have sane people that utilizes it, and you know, in healthy ways, when there are unhealthy people that you know, they overstep their boundaries and attempt to harm you know, people. And then that is when we have the right to utilize it. It is because there are unhealthy people that may have guns and do something that they shouldn't do with it. So again, guns don't kill people. People kill people. Right? So let's just have that clear. So guns is an acronym for Generation Under New Zeal. And you know, we're all about empowering our children, empowering our youth with the financial literacy and the education that they need so that they can get off the streets and not do things illegal, all because really they're trying to survive. They're trying to survive. They want a better life. They want a better way, but because they see and witness their parents not have enough time for them, living paycheck to paycheck, just over broke and tired too tired and to have enough time for them, you know, for the children, they're looking like, hey, we don't want to do this.
Right.
But then they get their hands on an easier way, which is really not easy, but a quicker way. But that quicker way is not a way that's always healthy, because it ends up harming people, you know? And so if we put something in their hands, and really they already have something in their hands. They have their cell phones. That's what they have.
Right.
They have their cell phones. So with their cell phones, they learn a skill set where they can make money on a device that they already have on their hands, that they're already on every day, all day. It's a part of their day. And then they can utilize social media in a way that's beneficial, because they can be sharing this with their friends locally and globally. Because listen, look, my children, I know my children do. My children have friends. I just had a young man stay at my house maybe a month ago or whatever. And, you know, my son, he was like, hey, Mom, can my friend from Cali come? Your friend from Cali? Who? You know, he met him online, and they've been friends from social media and gaming and all of that since I think he said it was about 10 or 11 or whatever. And the young man came and spent the week with us, and he was well-mannered and all of this stuff. So our children are already meeting people across the world from social media.
Absolutely.
So why not put something in their hands where they can share this, and they can learn, and they can make money together. They can do personal development together. All of these things. They already have it. And they're looking for a better way, better than the one that we were educated with, that now we're trying to get out of.
Absolutely.
Right? So again, newmembers.org, the password is ICON. It's our Extreme FX Youth Entrepreneurship and Development Program. And we will see you now because the Young Guns, it's already started. And so we will see you again on the Coach's Corner this coming Friday, where we will wrap up our topic for this week about distraction.
Don't give up.
Right?
Yes.
Don't give up. Do not be distracted. Keep going. So again, like Coach Cotton always says, tell a friend, tell a friend, all about the Coach's Corner, where we help you get to your next level. You guys have a great evening. Peace.